You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's up, guys? Well, welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Guys, it's me in studio here hanging out with you guys and super excited about doing another podcast with you. This one, we're going to be talking about knowing your worth, but not in the traditional sense where how Keith Kalfas did a talk. Just about a week or two ago, we dropped that episode, and he does an amazing job at our Launchpreneur Academy. What I wanted to talk about was trying to communicate the best I can. I don't really have a lot of notes. I just wrote a couple things down on my phone here, but I wanted to talk about learning how to say no to people, learning how to walk away from work, learning how to get your business to where you want it to go, but by doing it in a fashion of feeling more proud about yourself. I don't know any other way to say it. I'm not a wordsmith. I don't have like these, ways to articulate certain things. I just know that let's just take it back 4 or 5 years ago. There was a disturbance in the force. Okay, that's how I'm going to approach it. 4 or 5 years ago, I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and things had to change. And so I get a lot of calls, a lot of coaching calls. We do a lot of conversations about how to price, how to make more money, how to get your business more established. Great calls, great conversations, great topics. And here's what I'll say. And this isn't like a silver bullet, but what it always seems to come down to, and this is just me talking out loud based on my story. And my story is I was the low ball guy. I wasn't a bum. I wasn't the chuck in the truck. I just wasn't making a lot of money. So I didn't have all these opportunities, or my business wasn't making tons of profit. Let me just say that. We would make 70 and I would spend, 40 and I would make 30 grand a year or whatever. Okay. But I was like, how do I make 100, 150, 200? Like, it was an enigma. I just couldn't get to it. I was like, how do these people run these successful lawn care businesses, right? Like, and I'm not in competition with anybody, but you hear these people on the podcast or these like 17, 18, 20-year-old kids, and they're like, yeah, you do 20 grand a month, 15 grand a month, 10 grand a month, 40, 50, 60 grand a month. And I just couldn't figure it out. Well, number one, it does come to production, right? How many hours are going into your business labor-wise? How much overhead, how much profit, what's your margins? Like, that is X's and O's, really practical, simple stuff. But here's what I will say is that I told a poem at Keith Kalfas, at the end of Keith Kalfas' talk, and it wasn't to one-up him at all, and it, of course, wasn't received that way, which is cool. But Keith did a whole talk about knowing your worth, and at the end, I told a poem. It was called "I Bargained with Life for a Penny," and it was, "I bargained with life for a penny until life would pay no more, until I closed up my shop at the end of the day and I counted my scanty store. For life is a just employer; it will pay you what you ask. But once you set the wages, you must bear the task. I work for meals higher, only to learn dismayed that any single thing I would have asked for life would have willingly paid." So what that means is 4 or 5 years ago, I was not demanding very much out of my life. I was not demanding very much out of life. I was not having any expectation. I did not have a self-image that would allow me to command out of this universe. Okay. Like, I just did not have the self-image. I didn't have the knowledge base. I didn't have the experience or the skill set, right? And I don't have any notes here. I actually haven't even looked at my phone. I just didn't know what to do next. I didn't know how to tell customers no. I didn't know how to price jobs. I didn't know how to sell work necessarily. Like, I just felt like nothing was working for me. And again, I don't know if you guys can relate to this. This is just stuff that I had to realize and deal with. And this is just real talk. Like, I wanted my business to grow, and it just wasn't working for me. And at Launchpreneur Academy, I don't know if it was right after that poem and Keith's talk or shortly thereafter, I challenged the audience. And if you guys were at Launchpreneur Academy Live 2019, which is our live event that we do in November, last year we had 150 people there. This year, I don't even know, 250 people there. Could be there. We have limited seating, so if tickets are on sale by the time this episode comes out, like, get your ticket now. Like, do absolutely not delay, because once it's full, it's full. There's no overflow room. There's no live streaming ticket. We're not doing any of that. It's a live event only. For the people that are there, there'll be a live event recording replay. But if you want to go, you need to get your ticket ASAP. So I shared a story, though, about I wanted to challenge people in the audience to cancel somebody this year. Like, and you're like, what cancel somebody? Like, that's not good advice. Well, maybe it actually is, because every one of us have a customer that takes advantage of us, and not because they take advantage of us, but because we let them take advantage of us. So really, you're taking advantage of yourself. We'll get into that. But I told everybody, everybody's got a customer that is low revenue, low profit, pain in the butt. You can call them a Karen. You can call them whatever. You can call them just, they're just a crappy account. They're too far. You don't want to cancel them. They're a family member that doesn't pay, or, you do it for half off because they're family. 100 different scenarios. They're just not a good customer. You don't like going to it. And so if you don't like going to that customer and you get those emotions, probably not a good customer. Like, if there's something you don't like, hey, maybe the expectation is wrong on the customer. Maybe the expectation is wrong on you. Maybe the price is wrong. Maybe you can salvage that customer and bring the price up. But we all have customers that we want to cancel. And so I told the audience, I said, sometime this summer, share with me or remember your best. Cancel somebody. Cancel your worst customer this year. Cancel somebody that you can't friggin' stand. Now, if you've never canceled a person before, it's almost like this intimidating experience, because you're like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Hey, here's the honest answer. Just be honest and truthful and just say, hey, we're no longer able to service your property. I apologize. Well, why not? Hey, you know what? We're taking our business in a different direction and we're no way longer able to provide service. Okay. Now, if you want to do the professional thing, offer a referral, let them down easy, be nice. Okay. I'm just coming at you guys quick here. But for me, just be honest, just be honest, cancel somebody. Like, it's okay. And what happened was I told the audience, I said, give me your best, do a cancel story. Send me a cancel story halfway through the season. Just give me a customer that you guys can't stand and just cancel them, because it'll save your freaking mental energy, headaches, frustration, and so much nonsense, right? Because here's the bottom line. Here's what I want to get into. When I wasn't expecting much out of myself, I couldn't expect much out of my life. When I wasn't expecting much out of my business, I couldn't expect much profit. I didn't have the self-image because I didn't have any self-worth. And so 45 years ago, I had a teeny tiny little business because I didn't know if I was worth anything. I didn't know that I didn't have any gumption that I could add value or take care of a property or be a valuable person or somebody could trust me or rely on me. Now, I was cutting grass. I was doing the whole deal just like you guys are, and maybe how you are right now. Maybe you guys are listening to this on a mower like I usually am. But 4 or 5 years ago, everybody walked all over me. And I'm not like going to get tough here. I'm just saying 4 or 5 years ago, life was paying me the wage that I was demanding out of life. And I had to learn how to change that. And so you can call it the law of attraction. You can call it whatever. The bottom line is that what you put out in the universe, it can and will come back to you. Now you can go, it doesn't matter if you're religious, doesn't matter if you're spiritual, doesn't matter if you're atheist, it doesn't matter if you're just, passive and you don't have any faith. Here's the bottom line. What you put out into this world, you can call it sowing and reaping, you can call it karma, you can call it what goes around comes around, you can call it the golden rule. Every culture, every religion, everything, everybody has something that they call that. It's called being a good freaking person. And when you're a good friggin' person and you do a good job and you do more work than what you're paid for in a positive attitude, in a positive frame of mind, well, that is the exact definition of the extra mile out of Think and Grow Rich and the Master Keys of Riches book. These are old books that were written 100 frickin' years ago by Napoleon Hill. And if you've never heard the book, The Master Key to Riches or Think and Grow Rich, it'll give you a brain lobotomy because they're written, again, 100 plus years ago. And what they wrote 100 plus years ago makes more sense today than it ever has ever. And there's another book that was recently released about a decade ago from Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. Incredible books. And if you've never read these, you should. I can smell the pages right now, like the old school paperback book. I can smell the pages in the highlighter because I have these books. They're marked up 6 different times in 6 different highlighters because I read them once every other year for a decade. And every time I reread them, I use a different highlighter, different notes, different pen, different frame of mind, right? Different mindset. And so anyway, it goes full circle to when I wanted to make more money for my business, and I had these customers that were walking all over me. Can I just be honest with you? Can I just level? I don't know how long this podcast will be. I just got so sick and tired of letting life and everything and everybody push me around. And again, I'm not getting tough, like saying like customers were pushing me around or, I was a whiny baby, but I just realized that I wasn't demanding anything out of myself. I wasn't demanding anything out of life. And basically, I was a scared human being. I was afraid. I was timid. I was weak. I wasn't a bad person. I just wasn't very productive. I wasn't very helpful. And so I wasn't adding any value to anybody. You know what I mean? In Think and Grow Rich, it says, a millionaire is wealthy, not because of the amount of money that he makes, but because of the amount of value he adds to society. And my income was 50 grand a year. So in that equation, the variable is how much value was I adding to society? Now, I wasn't solving a lot of problems because I didn't have a lot of customers. I didn't solve a lot of big problems. I was mowing grass, but mowing grass is a very small problem in life. Now, if you want to talk about interplanetary species development and travel and having a second colony on Mars, well, Elon Musk is going to get paid trillions of dollars to solve that problem. Quadrillions, probably, if you really think about it. So what kind of problems are you solving? If you're doing retaining walls, you're solving bigger problems than mowing. So a retaining wall is a $25,000 job, $7,000 job, $50,000 job. If you're the guy who can drop ship something to somebody's house in 2 days and do it for, 20 million people a day, well, you're probably going to be a 150 billionaire like Bezos is right now. Bezos, Mr. Jeffrey. Guy's so rich he can get divorced and still be twice as rich as the next guy. That's incredible. It's just as crazy. He's super wealthy, but he solves a lot of freaking people's problems. And so here's the bottom line. It's not only just the problems that you solve for people, it's how do you value you? How do you value your time? Customers would walk all over me. I would do a job for $25. Hey, can you go trim the weeds? It would take me 15 extra minutes to go trim down some landscape bed or 10 minutes to trim down some landscape bed. And it's not like they were intentionally taking advantage of me, although some probably were. I wasn't valuing my time. I wasn't valuing myself. I was just, whatever works, bro. I'm 25, no obligations tonight, no obligations in life besides a car payment. If I valued my time, who cares? If I didn't value my time, who cares? Well, fast forward, I turned 30 years old and I realized I'm about $100 million short of where I want to be. I don't know if you guys listen to this and ever felt the same way. I have no nice cars, no nice clothes, no nice watches, no nice home, no nice anything. And those are all material and who cares? But I also just wasn't very happy, like internally. I was like, I have potential. I'm not living up to it. I don't feel like I'm doing a good job, at anything. I'm not overly providing for my wife. Our life is getting better, but I just had a lot of things that I still had to work on. And so here's where my whole pickle is. I don't know if you guys have ever felt the same way. That maybe you're on one end of the spectrum and that's how you feel. Like maybe you're on the other end of the spectrum and you're just kicking butt. Things are working and you're just super happy. Dude, doesn't make any difference. If you're making it happen, I'm proud of you. If you're not, I'll keep talking to you because that's where I was. And if you're successful, remember, keep paying dues. So that's how you stay out of this frame of mind and this position I was in life. So the I cancel somebody conversation. So I had just some revealing points in my life where it was like a year or two ago, and this stuff is fresh. I had a customer come up to me and basically he said, well, how much for the 20 whatever snow season? And I said, well, the price is, I think it was like $349 for unlimited pushes, seasonal contract, whatever. Since then it's like $400 and our prices keep going up every year and blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Let's not worry about that right now. So I gave him the contract and I said, $350 for the season. He goes, no. He goes, I'll give you $249 like the year before. And so I'll send a check out to you. And this is via text message. And I go, no. Now I go, no, the price is $349 for the season. If you don't want to pay it, then you're not getting service. And this is via text, which I always encourage to not do this. You can do one or two things like that, but once that's done, call people because you don't want miscommunication. Because there's no voice flexion, there's no context, there's no emotion. You can't have a conversation and just, talk to people. So I call people once it's like one or two exchanges and there's confusion. So he texts me back. He goes, no, price too high, $249. Take it or leave it. I didn't even respond to him. I didn't even care. I didn't even get back with him. I didn't even try to sell because I didn't care. This was like a year ago. And this was actually like the week before our live event. and in November. So this is all like happening like, October, November, first week of November, because he's trying to pay for the 2019 snow season. And I just remember like it felt good to finally tell somebody else no. Like, no, I know my worth, I know my value, and you're not going to walk all over me. I'm Brian. I have value. I'm Brian. I have value because I value my time. I value my experience in my relationship with my wife. If I'm not plowing snow, I'd like to be at home. I value my sleep. I value family time. I'm going to have kids one day. I want to value hanging out with those kids. I'd rather spend time with my kids and my wife than spending time making money. Believe it or not. The idea is not to always be making money. In fact, the idea is to have a business that employs people that makes you money, right? So you can go do more important things than to make money, right? So, I mean, it's a mindset shift here. You're not supposed to just, if you want to be in the field and be an owner operator like I am, that's fine. But it is okay to go hire it out. It is okay to, quit work early at 2 or 3 o'clock because you have amazing prices and you can go watch your kids play Little League. Because those experiences and those memories, you're going to realize are 1,000 times more important than green stinky paper. Now, if you're 19, and I say this all the time, if you're 19, you just want to hustle and buy, a Dodge, a Ram Cummins and, just have this baller $60,000 truck and, real cool. Okay, that's fine too. Go hustle, work 18 hours a day and go make $300,000 with 4 guys. You can do that. And I encourage you to do that. But you guys got to realize I'm 34 and priorities change a little bit as you get older. And so anyway, that was the snow customer. I just said, no, you're not going to talk my prices down. I'm not going to balk. And in fact, it was the first time where I said no and I didn't care. And $300 is still a lot of money to me. $250, $400, it's still a lot of money. Another situation, this happened, about 2 months ago. And hopefully these stories help you guys out. I'm trying to give some context to what I'm saying. Another customer, this was like 2 months ago, season starts up, again in, May, because our governor shuts us down. And we could have been out there since middle March. So it is what it is. But first week of May, we're out there cutting grass. And I cut like there's 4 lawns right next to each other. One on one side, then there's a gap, then there's a house. But across the street, we do 2 side by side. And so a little batch of 4, we do them all in, 45 minutes to an hour and make $125, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. $150. And so while I'm cutting these, one of the customers comes out and he says, hey, dude, he's like 38-year-old guy, family guy. He's got 2 kids. In the driveway's a Suburban, a new Equinox, and a new Range Rover. I'm like, cool. Good for him. So he comes over and he goes, hey, got your text. First, it's good to see you out. I'm like, cool, what up? I'm like, you want to renew? Want to keep going here? Thanks for not calling me back in March. Because you know how that goes. Thanks for sending my form back in. And so he goes, yeah, how much is it? 25, right? I go, no. I said it's 30. Now, all my 25s this year are 30s. A lot of my 30s are 32s and 34s. Prices went up. All my 25s that are now 30s, the 30s need to be 34s. We're going to go to 32s or 34s next year. So I'm getting there. Again, for my biggest issue with my business was it's hard to take people from 20s, 22s, 25s, being that lower ball guy, and get him to 34, 35s, 37s, right? It takes 2, 3, 4 years. So I've been writing the ship for a few years. And every time I make a harder turn and writing the ship, a couple people fall off the boat, and that's okay because we renew them. And so when I tell you, like, I'm marketing, I'm doing the stuff I tell you guys to do, and I encourage you guys to do. Like, I'm not pontificating or preaching, like I'm practicing, which I think is just super exciting because I want to keep credibility with what I'm doing. So anyway, guy comes over and he's like, no, 25. I go, no, the new price is 30. In fact, that's a new price for all of our existing customers. He goes, no. He goes, 25. And the mower is running, blades are off, and my guy Rob is like trimming grass, and I'm like, no, it's going to be 30. He goes, no. He goes, I can get guys to do them for 20, 25 all day long. Now, I've had this customer for 12 years. 12 years. Now, maybe I owe him some loyalty. Maybe he owes me some loyalty. I know it sounds weird to say, but I've been cutting your lawn for 12 plus years, bro. I thought we were friends. And it's so funny because I hear Keith Kalfa say stuff like this. Like, if you think you're so good friends with your customers, go raise their price 5, 10, 20%. See how much they actually love you and care about you. And I'll be honest with you. What I found is that 95% of the time, Keith's right. Those people do not care about you. Like, they just don't. Your buddies, they're buddies. but it's still business. It's still economics. Like, you ever see the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill? Amazing movie, super good. Highly endorse it. Not that matters, because like I'm a movie critic, right? So I was watching Moneyball. This is, I don't know, a year or two ago when it came out, and it was a really good scene where you guys know the scene if you've seen the movie, where Brad Pitt tells Jonah Hill to go fire a baseball player. So there's a whole story here. It's a great movie, great story, and Jonah Hill is not the guy that would normally go do that, but Jonah Hill's like trying to lead and take responsibility and build this baseball team that they're trying to develop. Well, Brad Pitt goes, "You never fired somebody before?" And Jonah Hill goes, "No." He goes, "I'm not doing it." He goes, "That's not my role." And Brad Pitt to Jonah Hill's character goes, "All right, cool. Well, you're up. Go fire him." And they had to fire this baseball player and trade him to another team. So, and Jonah Hill's character is like, "Well, what do I say? What do I tell him?" Like, he's nervous. He's freaking out. You ever been there before with your lawn care business, by the way? You don't know how to cancel somebody. You don't know how to fire somebody. They're taking advantage of you. You're not getting the price that you should. You know that you're not getting what you deserve. And again, I'm not saying like you're better than somebody. Like, let's keep it in context. But it's not a good fit for you or your business. They always want something more. They're always whining, complaining, texting you. You missed a spot. You didn't, but they say you did. Oh, I did a leaf cleanup. You missed a whole section of my yard because it blew wind that night. No, it looked like a golf course when I left at 3:00. Storm comes through overnight, and then they want you to come back and redo the whole freaking property. Nope. That's why you always take photos when you do leaf cleanups. Take a photo of the front, take a photo of the back. Little CYA there. Little pro tip. That's what I do. That way we can't ever have that discussion. So he goes to Jonah Hill and he says, "No, dude, you gotta fire these guys or trade this guy off." And he goes, "Well, I don't know how to do it." He goes, "Just go in there." He goes, "What do I tell him?" He goes, "The truth." He goes, "These are professional athletes. These are professional people. Like, this is what they do. Go walk in there." So anyway, I'm not gonna steal the whole scene, but he walks in there, and basically Jonah Hill's character has this other baseball player, big dude, professional baseball athlete. And he's like catching up with the boys. They just got done practicing or playing a game, and he's like, "What's up, coach?" Or what's up, trainer? Whatever his name is. And Jonah Hill goes, "Hey, Rod, you're off. You're off the team. You're traded." And because Brad Pitt coached him, he said, "Well, what do I say to him?" He goes, "Just shoot them straight. They're professionals." So Jonah's character goes, I don't know the guy's name. Let's call him Rod. He goes, "All right, Rod, you're traded. Today's your last day. You'll be on a bus or a plane tomorrow. You're going to the LA Dodgers, whatever. And you're off the team. And here's all your info. Here's your next contact for the next team. That's it." And silence. And the character Rod is like, "That's it?" And Jonah Hill is like, he doesn't even say anything. He just kind of lean back, does this lip curl, and he's like, "That's it." And he goes, "All right," stands up, walks right out of the door, and Jonah Hill deflates. He's like, "Oh my God," most intense thing you've ever said in his life. Probably talking to an athlete who makes millions of dollars a year playing the game, right? And so that's how it is with canceling customers. You're like, "Oh, I'm afraid of the big bad bear. I'm afraid of canceling these people. I'm afraid of standing up. I'm afraid of knowing my worth. I'm afraid, what's the worst that can happen?" All these negative scenarios go through your head. And so, not that you have to be hardball with your customers. Nope, you're out. You're out of here. Nope, you're canceled because, that's the way it is. That's our policy. I'm not saying that. You can have some relationship with your customers and laugh, have fun, joke around. It's okay. But that's how it goes back to this customer that wanted me to do it for $25 a week when my new price was $30. I just had this gumption, and I developed this gumption the last 12, 18 months. And I said, his name is Sam. I said, "No, Sam." I said, "It's going to be $30 a week." And he goes, "25. I said, "Actually, it's 30. And to be totally honest with you, I'm doing you the favor. My new weekly price is $34. And so you're not," he goes, "you're going to let go a $100 a month client?" I go, "Actually, I'm not making $100 on you per month. I'm losing $16 every single month by doing your property." I said, "So with all due respect, my new price is $34. You're trying to talk me down to $25 when I said I'm doing it for $30. I'm doing you the favor, and I'm also losing $16 every month by having you as a client versus having somebody else who actually respects my value and my rate and me taking care of them as a new client. Now, Sam, I've been doing you for 12 years, and the fact that you don't respect my pricing says a lot about you. And in fact, that I've been taking care of your property, I've seen your girls grow up, and that you have a safe environment when somebody comes to your lawn to cut the grass every single week, and you don't respect that, that's all I need to know. Sam, we're done doing business together. You're a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Hey, hope to be friends with you. But Sam, we're done doing business together. If you're going to value me over $5 a week to take care of your property and the safety of having your, 15, 16, and 17-year-old daughter, whatever, out back, playing in the pool and having somebody respectful on your property. I said, in the context here is the guy's got a new, $90,000 Range Rover in the driveway. Right. And so the bottom line is that I go, that's not how it's going to go down. And I'm not a tough guy. Like, here's what I'm trying to say. Understand the life lesson here. I knew my worth. I knew the value I added. I knew how, not because I'm amazing, like I'm some, hero. I was just saying, how can that guy not respect my price when I've taken care of his property for 12 years? We've grown together. Now, you can argue, well, Brian, you owe him a little bit for loyalty. I did. I cut his lawn for $8 less than it should be. It was $22 cut. And I went up to $25 2 years ago, and it would have been $30 this year. Well, that's a fast increase on price. No, it's not. Okay. No, it's not. Like regular weekly prices where I live are $30, $34, $37. Okay. So let's not go from one ditch to the other. But the bottom line is that, was I being ridiculous? Was I, being very demanding? No, here's the bottom line. He owns a restaurant. If his chicken tenders were $11.99 and I come there the next week and it's $12.99 because it went up 10% or whatever, do you think I was going to be like, oh my God, your chicken tenders are $12.99? No, I wasn't there to buy the chicken tenders and get lunch, although I am. I'm there to support his business. I'm there to support him as a friend. I'm there to support him in the community. I don't care that it was an extra $1. Hey, is the price good or is the product good? Are the fries, crispy? Are the chicken tenders good? Is the ranch great? Awesome. Then I'm going to buy your chicken tenders, bro. And so the fact that it would be $1 more on my end of the world, in my perspective, in my universe of living, it's non-consequential. It's inconsequential. So I don't mind paying the $1 more. But in his world, when my price went up 10%, he was driven by price, not by value, not by safety of, me being on his property versus some other, bum who's, doing whatever and making him and his teenage daughters uncomfortable out there. I was astounded by it. But you know what? No problem. I'm not the guy for you anymore. No big deal. And that was cool, by the way. Like, I'm sounding like, this is like more two-dimensional here, but there's a lot of, he's like, you going to turn me down? I go, yeah. We fist bump. We bro fisted. It was okay. I was like, hey, dude, keep in touch. If the next guy doesn't work out, no big deal. Now, I'm not going to be the guy that says I told you so, where a week later his lawn was 8 inches tall. I'm not going to be the guy that says, 2 weeks later it still wasn't cut and it was 12 inches tall in the spring. I'm not going to say that. And I'm not going to say that, maybe he had an ego and didn't want to come back crawling to me. I'm not going to say all that because that, it's neither here nor there. Although that's what happened. So what happened? This evolution of me knowing my worth. It's not Brian. I hear people say, Brian, be humble. Brian, be, a lot of YouTube comments or people. And I'm like, I am humble. I'm the nicest guy you've ever met. But don't get humility confused with knowing your worth. Don't let humble over humility, detract you from being strong or firm. Like be humble, be thankful. I am. I'm the most humble, thankful, blessed person I know. But it also doesn't mean I need to discount my rates. Humility doesn't mean be lowball. Humility doesn't mean be cheap. Humility doesn't also mean not command top price. So when you hear can I just be honest? Can this be unfiltered? When you hear some people saying stuff like that, I'm like, are you telling me or are you telling you? Here, this is the kind of stuff that goes through my brain. This is the kind of stuff that helped me become a more successful business person. I listened to Andy Frisella, who on the Real AF podcast, he's screaming in the microphone and I'm just learning. I'm listening. I'm like, yeah, me too. And then I hear Gary Vee, he's like, dude, you got to do this. You got to do that. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm working. And I listen to successful people and they're telling me you can go get it. Go get yours. And then you hear, and this just sounds rude, but you hear people that make less or they just, they're not winning as much and they don't want you to win too much, right? The people that aren't performing don't like it when they hear people talking like a winner. Can I say that out loud? They get turned off by it. But a winner loves listening to a winner. A loser hates listening to a winner because it reminds them of how much they're losing. Ugh. Can you even say that in today's culture? Cancel that. But that's what having this bravado, this confidence. Some people call it swagger, having the swag about you. It doesn't mean you're a jerk. It doesn't mean you're cocky. It doesn't mean any of that. Why does it have to mean that? Why does everybody, well, that's just because somebody's being cocky or overconfident. Why does it have to be that? Maybe they're just confident in the fact that they're succeeding and what they're doing is working. And why are you throwing shade? Why are you saying, oh, he's too cocky or he's overconfident? Maybe he's not. Maybe you're just whining. So let's take it all the way back to knowing your life, knowing your worth, knowing how to cancel customers. Another little fun story. And I learned this the last few years, guys. Like, I'm trying to learn and grow. Like, I don't have it all figured out. You know what I mean? I did grow up in a trailer, and it's not the physical residence. You guys got to listen here. It's not the physical residence that I moved out of. It was the mental residence that I had moved out of. Like, Brian, you got to remember where you came from. I don't forget an ounce of where I came from. And it wasn't where I physically lived on my mom's address in her 1,400 square foot trailer. It was the mental thought process that I moved away from and out of. When I met Bedell thought different. How many times do I have to say this? When I met a Keith Kelfus, a Stanley Dirt Monkey, I go to a live event. These people think different. Oh, they're famous YouTubers, and it's like a YouTube convention. Okay, go listen to a troll or a hater or a moron. That's what they think and say. But I get around a Stanley Dirt Monkey who is extremely successful, and I want to know how people think. I get on a podcast with Tom Wheelwright. How does Tom think? He's done tax returns of 100 millionaires. He's done tax returns of multimillionaires. He's a multimillionaire. I want to succeed. If I listen from a millionaire, I'll probably be 100,000-aire. I moved out of my mom's trailer park. I moved out of that thought process. It was poor. It was lack. It was good, bad debt is good and good debt is bad. It was limiting beliefs. It was you don't know your self-image. It was you don't know your worth. It was how much can I milk the system? How much can I cheat? How much can I rob? How much can I steal? How much can I be lazy? How little can I do for the most amount of reward? How little can I do for the most amount of reward instead of saying how much can I do for the maximum reward? Right? This is the kind of stuff that, Brian, you got to know where you came from. Brian knows exactly where he came from because Brian still knows people in that previous thought process. People running around chasing gas prices. Gas is $1. Gas is $1.10. Gas is $1.29. I get people texting me all the time. Hey, bro, gas station over on so-and-so, it's 20 cents off. It's 10 cents off. It's 7 cents different. Your gas tank has 20 gallons. The price of gas is 7 cents difference. That's $1.40. You just wasted my time on a text, on an email, or a phone call on $1.40. You do realize that if there is 2,000 working hours per year and you want to make $250 an hour or $250,000 a year, you have to go and make $125 per hour. Do you think that there's any part of that equation that says saving $1.40 is going to get you to making $250,000 a year? No. Now, again, I'm not being tough, but dude, nobody talks about the middle. Nobody talks about what it's like to be from poor to rich, and I'm in this awkward middle. I'm not poor. I'm definitely not rich. What's wealthy? What's poor? I don't know. To me, poor is making less than 20, 30 grand a year. Rich to me is making more than $500,000 to $1 million a year. I'm in this awkward middle where I'm expanding my life and trying to figure stuff out. And so many of you guys are on this journey, not with me, on your own journey. And we're all going down this river together. You've got your ship. I got my ship. My ship might be further out. My ship might be a little bit bigger. My ship might be a little bit smaller. You might be more out front. I might be behind you. We're all in this thing of life together. And that's what's freaking awesome. And so when somebody says, you got to remember where you came from, I don't forget for a minute where I came from because I know what it's like to be poor. And so when I tell you guys how to cancel a customer. I get so fired up, guys. I'm sorry if I'm like getting a little aggressive here, but I get so fired up because I know what I'm saying to help you guys out can help you transform your life. That's what we're doing here. These podcasts, they're not fluff. You hear stuff, take notes, go back home, study this thing, crack open Think and Grow Rich, crack open Master Key to Riches. Go download on Audible the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Go read The Creature from Jekyll Island and understand how banking works in this country. Right? I mean, I was so out of the game in life where I read 1,000 books the last 10 years. Brian, how can you come up with content? Brian, how can you come up with this? Brian, how can you come up with, videos and podcasts? And it's like I get people like, how do you keep thinking in thoughts? How do you keep coming up with crap? Like, wouldn't you run out by now? No, because I grew up for 20 years poor. 20 years poor. Honestly, 30 years poor. And for a decade, I was reading, I was underlining, I was taking notes. The best damn sales book ever, The Go-Getter, the Magic of Thinking Big, Think and Grow Rich, Master Key to Riches, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, The Richest Man in Babylon. Every book that's in Barnes and Noble in entrepreneurship and personal finance, I've read all the Dave Ramsey books. I love Dave, great guy. I don't like Dave's plans for financial wealth. He's great at getting people out of debt, but he's not great at creating wealth. That's step 7. Step 7 is not just step 7. Step 7 is should be step 1. Because if you get wealthy, you can solve every other problem along the way. But if you get out of debt and you pay off your home, so what? You make 50 grand a year, you're still poor. You're still broke. And I'm not saying that's not a decent little income to live. The average household mean income in this country is like $54,000 a year, combined family income. But how many problems are you solving at $54,000 a year? Maybe you want to make 54 grand a year. If you do, I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest fan. I want you to make 54 grand a year. But if you want to make 54 grand a month with your lawn and landscape business, or 154 grand a year, now we're talking. Churches, a lot of you guys are Christians, and I'm a Christian. I just love giving money away. The only thing more exciting than making it is giving it away. And I heard a guy say a long time ago, he said the definition of a millionaire isn't somebody who makes $1 million a year. It's somebody who wins 1 million souls to Jesus. I was like, whoa, I've never heard anybody talk like that. This guy was extremely successful. And it gets you thinking, what kind of impact are you making in this life? I'm not saying, if you want to go win souls, win souls. If you don't want to win souls, go buy 3 Ferraris, okay? Cool. Give me a ride. You know what I'm saying? Fullerton Unfiltered, But that's a different level of playing. And so you have to get around these successful people that think different. And so I'm stuck in this, I've been poor. I'm in the middle. Nobody talks about the middle. You listen to Andy Frisella, he's got this $150, $200 million company, just built this, 300,000 square foot warehouse, him and Sal, amazing dudes, kicking butt, #1 podcast, blah, 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 blah. And he documents, the last 10 years too, which is cool, but he's at the other end of the spectrum. He's successful. So who's talking about the middle? I'm in the middle. You guys are in the middle. A lot of us are in the middle, making 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 grand a year, making, sub mil. How do we get there? Let's work together. And I don't have it all figured out. But when somebody tries to make fun, poke fun, or call me out for, you got to remember where you came from, I don't forget for a second where I came from. And when Bedell saw me, he saw potential. He saw somebody who had desire. He saw somebody who had belief. And what did I believe in? I was believing in my own BS that I was worth more than everybody else around me was talking. I just had this splinter in my brain. Something's not right. Why can't I cancel a customer? Why am I afraid of canceling somebody? Why am I afraid of not raising prices? Why am I afraid of not putting myself out there? Why am I saying no to things? Why did I say no to landscaping for a decade? I was afraid. I was timid. I was scared. The only way to get over that is to punch through. The only way to do that is to get out of your, not comfort zone, your familiar zone. People get that confused. Like, I got a comfort zone. Your comfort zone is only comfortable because it's familiar. Get into your unfamiliar zone. Right? Like the most dangerous place on the earth is living on the edge. You have to get out of your familiar zone. Everything you do every day is probably familiar. Eleanor Roosevelt, do something every day that scares you. You've heard this quote. When's the last time you did something that scared you? For me, I don't know. I'll tell you what, every single day I create a piece of content Hey, is this going to be the video that blows up the channel or tanks the channel? Hey, if I'm going to do this podcast, are these people going to love me or vilify me? Hey, I'm putting myself out there. You know what it's like to put yourself out there? People are going to 20 years from now use this against me probably. Who cares? Who cares? Today, I'm going to help people. Today, I'm going to help encourage you guys. Every day, we're going to get better together. You listen to this podcast every single day, we're going to continue to move forward, get new customers, grow the businesses, get our finances right, pay off bad debt, pay off good debt if you want. Let's just keep growing. And so it goes full circle to these couple different customer stories, right? For example, I had another one where this was about 2 weeks ago. Why is Brian today so confident? Because I know what I add my value to my customers. I'm accountable. I do great work. You'll feel safe with me on your property. We do amazing mulch jobs. We do amazing everything. Like, I said humbly, like we're not the best, but like I believe I'm really good. You have to believe your own BS for a little while. Doesn't mean you're cocky or overconfident. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying here. But you have to believe your own, that you're going to be successful. You have haters pulling you down, your own negative self-limiting beliefs and thoughts pulling you down. You have to not believe your own BS, but you have to get confident. You have to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to demand that things happen for me. Goes full circle to a customer story that we had 2 weeks ago. And by the way, if this is helping you guys out, tag me on Instagram, share some stories, shoot me a DM, say, dude, fire. I'm not looking for the attaboys, but hopefully this is being received well. I care so much, man. I care so freaking much about you guys, and I want to help you guys. And I'm always talking to the Brian Fullerton 10, 12 years ago. Like, what would Brian have needed to hear to get his butt in gear? What was so difficult? What was so hard? What was the missing ingredient? What was the missing puzzle piece? I don't know. I just want to keep giving these breadcrumbs back to you guys to help you. And I am trying to make it easier, but you still got to do the work. So it is still hard. So you can still learn those lessons and make it your own. This goes full circle to a customer like 2 weeks ago. Lighthearted story here. Our Thursday route, we had 4 lawns in a row. Boom, 8 a.m. We're there, and we were cut the lawn, and I take the mower around the right side, so we're going counterclockwise. And this guy's got like a Jeep in his driveway, and he's got this his passenger window is down. His front right passenger window, no big deal. It's down. It's 8 in the morning though. Garage isn't open. I know he's home. Garage isn't open. Front right passenger window's down. Maybe got coffee at 6 in the morning. What do I know? But because Brian's Lawn Maintenance cares, because I'm a good person, because of all these different things I was talking about, like I value people, I value my customers, I value their properties, I want to take a good job, I look out, I do honestly super do care. The window's down. I'm like, that's unusual. And so I told him, I shoot him a text. I said, hey, let's call him Mark. Hey, Mark, I'm on your property. Notice the window's down. If so, great. That's normal, cool. If not, hey, just FYI. Plus, we might also get some rain like this about noon. This was like a little last week, Friday. From noon forward, we might get some rain, so I don't want to, see the car get all splashed. So I'm cutting the lawn, and I get a little note, from the phone on the isotunes. Got to plug those, right? And he goes, oh, that's weird. He goes, I don't know why that's down. So he runs out, opens the garage, runs out, and the window was just down, wasn't broken or anything. It was just down, must have hit something on the keypad, or girl left it open, his wife or something. No big deal. So I do another pass. I come back to the front because I'm painting in the lines, and he waves me down. He goes, "Thank you so much for letting me know." He goes, "I wonder if that was down all night." He goes, "Thanks so much." I go, "Dude, no problem." I go. We always try to look over the property. We always try to make sure that we don't see anything out of place. No big deal. Now, he's only, excuse me, I'm only charging him $34 a weekly cut. I'm not there to babysit, protect this house. That's not my role. I'm not, guardian alarm. But I care. I care about my clients. I care about people. I care about doing a good job. I care. I absolutely, passionately give a crap with every single thing I do. And so I wanted to extend that to him. I love people. I want to love on people. I want to care about people. And so what do? I just shoot him a text message. He shoots me a text back. Thank you. That's what knowing my worth is, that I know that with my prices, why are they $34? Because we cut better? Maybe, I don't know. We cut grass just like you guys do. Some of you guys, get lost in the weeds about how great you cut, how great you stripe, how great this is. And trust me, I do too. We all like equipment and doing a good job. But what the value for me is now is you're getting me, my time on your property, doing a good job. That's worth something. And until you start valuing you can't charge appropriately for that to your customers. And so when a customer says, well, I got a guy that'll do it for 18. No, you have a guy that doesn't value himself enough that allows you to take advantage of him to do it for $18 because that guy doesn't know his worth because he hasn't heard Keith Kalfas' talk about knowing your worth. You don't have a guy that does something for something. You have somebody who doesn't value themselves. They don't value what they do. They don't value their skill set, their knowledge base. They don't understand what they should be charging as a market rate for what they do. Right? And so hopefully there's some helpful tips for you guys. I was so scared. I had no confidence. I had a HOA reach out to me. Hey, you want to take over this account? I looked at how much it was in the budget. I said, so this is like a 20 grand a year account. My biggest customer back then was like $7 grand a year for one commercial account. All my residentials, $1,000, $1,500 a year. This is 10x bigger than anything. 10x bigger than anything I've ever done. I was so afraid of losing money. I did my homework. 16 freaking times. Nowadays, buy a coaching call and talk to Paul, talk to me, talk to somebody, and you can compare notes. How incredible is that? There's a guy that was texting me earlier today on Instagram. He scored this like massive apartment complex with my $20 contract. Not that the contract is a secret, but it was $20 contract, editable document, the whole deal. And he goes, $20 contract. It's probably $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 account. And I said, that's so cool, dude. Like, I'm so excited that these resources are like paying dividends for you guys. It's so cool to see how we're all winning together. But these are the kind of stories and conversations that I didn't know my worth. I was afraid. I was scared. What am I doing bidding this account? I have no business bidding this account. Like, that's how I thought. But no, I'm going to win. I'm going to take care of this account. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to advise you guys on how to save this account so much money, do so much good work, because if you get me, you get the best. And so when you listen to a hater or a loser or a weaker person, they're like, be humble, don't want to be too confident. Like what's the barometer of being successful? What's the barometer of being confident? One guy says you're too confident, the next guy says you're not confident enough. Like, I don't know. Hopefully you guys don't judge me, okay? Because I'm not judging you. Can we just be real? Can I just have open conversation in 2020 where, this is the unfiltered podcast that we wanted to talk about? Because if we can't get unfiltered, if we can't get naked, if we can't get honest, nobody improves. Nothing improves, right? I mean, I had a 20-minute call with Stanley Dirt Monkey, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like throwing up on my life about him, to him about Liz and I are buying land, and it's a gob. And then we're going to build a home, which is a gob of a gob. And then I'm going to build an outdoor patio, which is a gob. Then I'm going to build a pole barn, which is a gob. And Stan's like, well, let's break it down. We break it all down. He goes, sounds like you got it, mostly figured out. Like, every number you're telling me, you're running numbers, you're running scenarios. He goes, if you think you can do it, go for it. And I said, I know so. He goes, well, if you know so, who am I to tell you that you can't? And also, who am I to tell you that you can? Because if you already think you can, Lord knows you're going to. Like, listen to what I just said. Hit reverse on the track for 30 seconds. If you know you can or you know you can't, as Henry Ford said, you're right. Right? So you have to believe in yourself. You have to get this confidence. Well, Brian, I just want to know how much to price the lawn. Is it 25 or 35 or 45? I don't know. I don't know either, because I don't know how much you value your worth. Right? All right. I'm shutting it down. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. Hopefully this stuff helps you out. This is the kind of stuff that I just get so fired up. I got to air it out. I got to mind dump. I got to brain dump on you guys, because I think this is the good stuff that you're looking for. This helps me. And listen, my life, I'm at Bedell, I was making 30, 40 grand a year. A year later, I was doubling that. 18 months later, my income doubled that. And 18 months after that, my income will probably triple. How much is that? Who cares? Is your life doubling and then doubling again, then tripling again? I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm here to help you do. And the more you get to hang around with me and other peers in your industry, the more you're going to get around that mastermind principle, that a rising tide raises all ships. The 5 people you hang around the most with is probably like the average of your income. The 5 books you read the most with all the 5 people you hang out the most with, that's going to average your income. This is the kind of stuff I'm helping you guys out with. So, listen, I don't know who's the other 4 people you guys are hanging out with all day, but if you listen to me all day, you listen to a guy who's making multiple, good money. And it's not about me. Trust me, I'm not about me. Listen, I'm probably I am the pauper. Go listen to Andy Frisella, Dave Ramsey, a couple other good people, and listen to, 4 millionaires and then me. And, we'll all meet somewhere in between. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is, if you're excited about life, I'm excited about life too. And I'm trying to help. I'm trying to give you guys as much as I can, as I see it, as I call it, as I see it lays, as we do this together. We're doing it together. You're all going to come to Entrepreneur Academy. No kid. I got like 225 seats or 250 seats. Once it's sold out, it's out. There's no overflow room. There's no live ticket. We're not doing any of that. So get your ticket if you want to go. But when you guys come there, every single one of you, more than likely, year over year, have probably grown your income 5, 10, 20, 50, 90, 150%. And that's what I want a room full of. I want a room full of not people that are like, well, what's the best price for lawn care? And do I want to do this? That's not for those people can come but I'm taking the people that graduated from last year's class and we're going to double down and we're going to grow. And I'm going to have Corey Ballard talk to you. And I'm going to have Corey Ballard rip it from the frame for an hour, sharing with you guys about how to take your life to the next level. A Stanley Dirt Monkey. Keith can do a part 2, and we're going to keep building. And we're on this journey together. Like I say, we're all in this together. It's not some motivational quip to get you to buy a stupid ticket to a live event. If you think that's what it is, you're confused. I have no ulterior motives. I have no other agenda. When's the last time you found a guy in life trying to say this kind of stuff? It doesn't exist. Everybody wants to sell you something. I don't want to sell you anything. I want to sell you on you. I want to sell you on being the freaking best you can, because I was so sick and tired of losing and feeling like I was worthless and had nothing to add value to society. And then I started learning some things, and I said, I'm going to make videos. And when I made videos, I said, I want to help people know how I think, because how I think is the catalyst from the derivative of what I've been making. And how do I do that? I want to get long format podcasting, long format content on podcasting, because I want you guys to know how I think, how Stanley thinks, how Keith thinks, how John Pajak thinks, how, all these different guys think, because they're successful human beings that can pour into you guys. And so many of you too, by the way. I can't wait to get so many dozens and hundreds of you guys on the podcast too. So if I haven't reached out to you yet, don't take it personal. There's hundreds of you guys, tens of thousands of you guys, that consume the podcast. I can only get so many people on the podcast. So we're still working our way through the top 250. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm going to hit publish on this podcast. I don't care. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you probably hate me anyway. I don't know what there's to hate about a guy just trying to give out free content and encourage you guys. Just know that I love you guys. Just know that I care about you guys. I sign off with that all the freaking time. But you know what? We are making a difference. You guys, I see the comments. I see the feedback. I get the DMs. I get the reposts. I get the tags. I get the emails. Please keep sending it in, because it encourages me that I know that what we're talking about resonates, it's on point, and you guys want similar content or more of it. Because when you're winning, you want to win big. You want to keep winning. And if your wood's wet, keep listening. You'll get even the wettest log. If I throw it in a bonfire, eventually it will dry out and catch on fire. All right, so let's keep working together. Let's keep hustling together. There's so much great stuff coming out. We're going into the second half of the year, at the time that we're recording this. And you know what? There's so much opportunity ahead of all of us. There really is. All right. So appreciate you guys big time. This is a completely inspired talk, and hopefully it makes an impact and a dent on your guys' life, and challenges you guys, man. Let's. It's not about the $35 cut. It's about how much do you value who you are. Are you worth $35, or are you worth thousands, millions? I think you are. All right. So I'm just stuck in the middle. I'm not poor. I'm not wealthy. I'm in the middle. I'm trying to do me as I also help you guys do you. And let's keep working together, man. Keep encouraging me. Keep praying over me. Keep encouraging Liz and I. We have so many big things we're working on. Family, land, kids, the whole deal, house. Liz and I need you guys' prayers and encouragement too. You know what I mean? We're real people. And I know I sound like a big dog, tough guy, butt kicker. But you know what, dude? I'm a real person too. And for me to do this kind of content and come at you guys, it makes me, it's me draining my battery to give into you guys to help maybe charge your battery. So anytime you guys can pray for us or encourage us, it does go a long way. And, some of you guys shoot 3 or 4 paragraph emails. I read all of them, and it's the best, kindest words ever. And it really makes me feel like I'm making a difference out here, okay? Because this takes a lot of effort. All right. Love you guys big time. Catch up with you on the next episode. Go out there, make it happen, stay out of trouble. We'll catch up with you guys on the next one.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.